Imagine your house has been burnt down by an arsonist just to make way for a brand new shopping mall. Assumed dead, Eric Matthews, no, not this guy from Saw, starts to plan his revenge from inside the shopping mall. We're going back to the 80s. I'm Hannah, and this is Hordes of Horror.
Little piece of trivia today. In the original Phantom of the Opera, and I mean the book, not the Angelo Dubber musical, Phantom isn't actually called Phantom. He's called Eric, hence why this film is called Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. What can I say? I fancy something 80s today. I feel like I've been watching a lot of newer horror films, and sometimes you just like some 80s cheese. There's a lot of 80s cheese to choose from, but I like 80s cheese. Okay, this guy's just showing off at this point. This is like Olympic gymnast level. Or at least high-level competition. This isn't standard high school. Proving my point exactly there.
Bye guys. Bye guys.
Okay, so this is Eric. So something's gonna go wrong very quickly then, because the movie's called Eric's Revenge. Okay. So this is where the mall section is. They're literally building it opposite his house. It's not even subtle. That would be like they are in the car park. / parking lot if you're American. Why is there a random crossbow in a sporting goods shop?
This ain't Halloween.
No. No, he's really not a mannequin. I think the crossbow gave him away. Oh, that's an 80s hairstyle. Oh, there's a I'm paying attention. There's a lot of 80s hairstyles. But that is the power perm to end all power perms. Oh, God, it says it's from the 80s. This movie came out in 1989. So, wow. I kind of love it though. Sorry, but Susie's outfit is so cute. Like the girl on the left, I would wear that outfit. Just, it's really cute.
I'm sorry.
Eric's house was burnt down. I knew it. Suspicious activity with the construction of this place.
I'm Peter.
So once this bit comes off from like under Eric's mask, it's gotta be Burns. It has to be. Oh, we're back in the tiny corridor / massive ventilation shafts again. No scream. No scream in a slasher film. Okay. The man got his face buzzsawed off. Okay, I've never known a changing room where there are no doors. Like, that's sketchy as all hell. Oh, it's questionable.
My approach is simple. If you like it, buy it. Besides, you're employed now. I can't.
That is one way to think about it, but we're in a cost of living crisis, so I can't have the same attitude.
Don't you ever do anything on impulse? No.
Every now and then you're allowed to do things on impulse. Like, I bought a t-shirt today, but it does have the legend that is Tim Curry on it, so justified. Eric, I'm gonna need you to shank this guy, because I get it that like sleazebags are a thing in 80s movies, but this guy is like peak sleaze. yeah. Okay, I'm satisfied now. Electrified using the forklift truck. That was brilliant. Is it the purple dress? Of course she's bought the purple dress. Wait, if she didn't buy the purple dress, I'd be suspicious if somebody was putting gifts inside my locked car. Why is she not suspicious though? Get him, Eric! Get him! Go on. Go on. Crossbow bolt him. Good shot. It's the cleaner. He's come to fix the problems. This is a weird sequence. Like, we've gone from, ooh, sexy times to I'm pouring gasoline on a woman. Can we just appreciate that she looks how a normal person looks first thing in the morning? Like, how many times have you watched a movie and somebody has got up looking immaculate? Ooh, now we're talking. An 80s, 90s arcade. Ugh, the nostalgia that it brings. This guy needs to stop humping the machine though. Like, mate, have some chill. Okay, Eric's gone from like concerned dead boyfriend to stalker to an is he stalking her to an 80s love ballad? What?
Goodies. It's on the 3rd floor. Why?
See, this new guy, we're just gonna call him the cleaner because he seems to turn up and get rid of big messes, is wearing the religious earring that Mel? I think it's Mel talked about. Oh, he's sus! He's so sus! This guy is parkour before parkour existed! What? What? This guy isn't... Run, man with camera! He's gonna turn around and he's gonna be right there. Because the man can now teleport through space and time. Wait for it. Wait for it. 3, 2, there he is. There is an eyeball in that. Calling it now. That is not just licorice lace. See?
And I know he's still around.
Love, I hate to break it to you, but your ex-boyfriend isn't dead and he's currently crawling around in the ventilation system like a xenomorph. But he didn't shoot him in the arm, he shot him in the sort of pectoral region on the opposite side to his heart. If this man walks away, it's like, no, I've been rumbled. What? That's not a rat. I knew it! It wasn't in the arm, he got shot in the pecs. Oh, is it gonna come through the pipes? Oh god! The world's biggest rat! It's a snake! Where did he find that to begin with? Oh, Eric's gonna lasso him! This is gonna be a Final Destination moment! Buzz just got friend-zoned in the hardest way that I have ever seen in a film! Poor Buzz! Dear journalists, let me put this into perspective for you. The guy that is now on security, that I have called the cleaner, was probably hired to burn down... There we go, we're finally putting 2 and 2 together. Because Eric didn't die, love, and the mall is still standing. Friends is a questionable term for the fact that you tried to set her on fire. Like, I'm very confused why we need a high-speed pursuit and why there are so many people still at the closed mall at this time of night. Eric is like, stay away from my ex. Oh! Yeah, that's a write-off.
That was Eric tonight.
Eric Matthews? He went on to be in Saw! He was an awful dad in Saw 2 and he got kidnapped for Saw 4. Don't piss off the cleaning man. The cleaning man could make you disappear just as fast as everybody else, man that owns the mall. Just because you're the guy that hired him to begin with does not mean you're exempt. Oh, not this scene again! YouTube will not allow this! Oh, the man's a machine! Eric's like, not today! Not today! There's got to be a face reveal at some point. Surely we are more than 2/3 into the movie. Why is there sand on the floor? Like, I'm very confused. Like, Eric, what is this bunker that you are creating in the ventilation unit? Okay, she's having the opposite reaction to what I thought. This is very reassuring. Right, has anybody seen the TV show 16? Because he reminds me of the mall cop in the TV show 16. Oh, Buzz gonna do Buzz things. Oh, is he expecting her to live in this underground, overground ventilation shaft bunker scenario thing? Oh, no, we're not playing Happy Families. Oh, there's a lot of shallots going on in the crowd. Oh, here comes the toxic masculinity. Again. But like, what was I expecting? It's an 80s movie. Peter, I'm gonna need you to hurry up and do something about this. At the moment, the only interesting thing that you've done is you've parkoured away from a cop wearing an earring. Like, up to this point, it's been like fairly decent. It needed to go somewhere now. Like, because at this point, we're surely coming up towards the end of the movie. We've got to be in the last, like, 10-15 minutes. I put money on it that this place is gonna burn to the ground and be a parallel of Phantom of the Opera, the musical, at this point. See, when she says, we want to see this last bit lit, I don't think she means she wants it to go up in an inferno. Like, I'm gonna put money on that, at least. Oh my god! What's he gonna do, bench press her out the window? Yep! Okay, that got a bit more interesting. Ow! Okay, now that was cool. That was cool. I want more of this in a slasher movie. It started cool, and then it went in the middle, and now things are a bit more interesting. What? What shop are we in that's got a flamethrower and random propane tanks? Is it a camping store? Why would you have a flamethrower in a camping store? They're gonna go through the doors and there's gonna be an explosion behind them, like slow-mo 80s action movie style. Calling it now. Here we go. Called it! If Eric isn't dead now, I'm gonna predict it. He's gonna Michael Myers out of the rubble and be like, guess who's back? No! Less predictable ending! Okay! I apologise if you can hear the man with the strimmer in the background. It is currently a bank holiday here in the UK when I'm filming this, and there is a lot of noise currently going on outside my house. One of my favourite horror movies is the Dawn of the Dead remake from 2004 by George A. Romero. So anything that is set in a shopping centre / shopping mall is always going to appeal to me. Plus, I am familiar with the source material that this movie is based on, and I don't just mean the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical Phantom of the Opera, I also mean the book and the original movie as well. The movie, it starts pretty strong, and you see that Eric has this sort of athleticism that is on par with an Olympic gymnast, and you see that he has a relationship with Melody. From there, we quickly move on a year, and you see that the mall has been built, and that something has clearly happened to Eric and his house. But when Eric and Melody reunite towards the end of the movie, that's when I started to feel that the plot was dragging, and there were lots of little scenes that were put in there purely to pad out the movie. Like the scene with the cobra, like when he makes a reappearance and Peter is crawling through the ventilation shaft, which is a ridiculous sized ventilation shaft, by the way, to try and find Eric and Melody. Like, Peter sees the Cobra sees Eric, he hisses at him and he moves on. What was that scene? Like, that was just pure padding at that point. The body parts, though, that kept appearing in the chill factor, that kept appearing in the chill factor, they were a nice touch. It added a little something to the movie that I'm like, I like that. Like, they kept appearing actually in the mall rather than just like behind the scenes, you know. With the peak being when the head turns up on the coat stand inside the guy that owns the mall's office, I liked that touch. The death sequences in this movie, they're pretty good. Like, there's nothing that stands out in particular to me, but this is a subgenre where you are competing with some of the most iconic slasher movies that came out in the 80s. So is it going to be on par with, say, anything from the Halloween franchise? No. Is it on par with anything from, say, Nightmare on Elm Street? No. I think Wes Craven pretty much had the genre on lockdown in the 80s, along with Hellraiser when that came out in 1988. The clothing, though, and the music choices in this are like peak 1980s, and I mean peak 1980s. We're talking the mullet, the super permed hairdos, the like dynasty business fashion, like all great. I love when a movie dates itself just on its aesthetic, so I have to give credit to Phantom of the Mall just because it is so dated because of its 80s aesthetic. The characters Buzz and Susie, though, are way more interesting than Melody and Peter are in this movie. And poor Buzz at one point gets friend-zoned harder than any friend-zoning that I have ever seen in any movie ever. Like, Melody is your typical, like, plain Jane, girl next door stereotype, and she comes across as very sort of, like, meek and mild. So when she fights back against Eric towards the end of the movie, it does feel, like, very off tilt for her character. Like, it comes out of nowhere and it doesn't feel authentic. Do I need the sexy time flashbacks to be so long, though? No, no, I don't. And they are so uncomfortable to watch because they go on for so long. And you know that it's a dream sequence / nightmare sequence because of how, like, hyper stylized and hyper romanticized everything is in it. Like, that is not your typical teenager's bedroom, so you know that that isn't how things actually went down. And it isn't until the very end of both sequences, because it happens twice, that it actually moves the plot on. The toxic masculinity, though, that comes in when Eric gets unmasked towards the end of the movie, I can do without that. Like, I get that this is an 80s movie and that toxic masculinity was just a thing back then and just go with it, but I don't like it now, and it doesn't mean that I would have liked it back then. Like, one of my favourite movies is The Warriors, and if I can call out Ajax in that movie for being a super, super toxic guy, then I can do the exact same in this movie with Eric. For me, Phantom of the Mall is going to be a 2.5 stars, and it's an okay slasher movie, but it is just... it's in a genre that is flooded with far superior movies. It's fun for a single watch, but am I going to be clamouring for a remake from this one? No, not in this case, I'm not. So there you have it. There are my thoughts on Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. If you have seen this movie, I would be very interested to hear what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section down below. So until next time, bye!